Oh, my person.
Yes, I got that. I'll move all my stuff.
I would love you to.
Sharing the screen or the live stream.
Excited to see this.
Yeah, that's so good.
Let's do something. Okay.
Those are good seats, yeah.
So, like ready.
Should I
Yeah.
go up a row?
You're good there.
Oh.
Anywhere like
Okay, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's what
Rachel
Rachel
see
said.
have a moment.
Daniel, anything to prove?
No, I know who you're talking about. I don't know what kind of moment you're talking about.
Oh, he told us to sit somewhere. So then I was listening.
Where did Jamie Locklear go?
I don't know.
She-
Oh, Connor just sit next to me.
Well, Jamie's doing some.
Okay.
Let's go down.
I called Connor.
Antigone. Wild.
It's one.
Yeah, you're gonna come be in this photo. I'm about to take up Antigone and you're gonna be in it.
Oh, hey, I would say what do. Oh, it's so dark.
That's my face. You're blurry too. I'm sorry. Yes.
Right. We're streaming and we are good.
Did you think you first have an Instagram?
I don't know.
Not one that I follow.
On either side. I screamed.
Nothing good. Where's that? You're good.
No, my one. He wants you there. He wants us here. He wants you there. I know where he wants you. I'm gonna. I have never seen it. I think I made the wrong choice. If it's there, you're telling you it's wrong choice.
Jamie, I saved you a seat, but you locked it.
I'm what?
I recommend it. But it's up to you.
Okay, where do I sit?
I recommend it up there.
I got to.
I would recommend that.
Oh, who's gonna come sit there?
Oh my god.
Go. I see how it is.
Oh,
What happens to us?
Well, they're not gonna get seats. Those are the best seats.
I'm getting fall for this.
Donut.
Stuff like that.
You know. Rafi.
No, I was gonna say I was thinking about his lyrics say and I wasn't that. I got all bad things. All right. This is I'm just trying to
Receive it.
I don't have any expectations.
Oh, no. I can't. Oh, no,
Yes, it's 15 minutes. Take your name. So speak. What I just
My apartment is 74. It's the lowest, it's the lowest. It's been out. Yeah, so I'm thinking something.
You know, the amount you guys pay, they should really get that situated.
I don't know when they'll be fixed or how to fix it.
I just know
I will use the person to like.
I told everyone of their kids.
No, I think we rounded some.
Like I said, the same.
No, because I need to anti-urban. We need to have one of the two.
It would be Antigone, like you're the dog. I said that.
I think that one's like.
And this one.
It was asking for not.
I have a crush.
Somebody. I'm ready to buy it. I think so.
I fully know.
I need so slide. I need to get it down. Yeah.
Well, we just.
It's giving like.
We're talking about love.
Oh, it's really. Well, I have not. No, I tried to leave today. We figure out a Valentine's Day card that I need to. Oh, nice. But I forgot to get it. I saw it and I was like, what's up? And I was like, and I read it. I was like, oh, I really ripped it in half and put it in the trash. Well, I'm not even never do it. He was so bad too. But I was keep back, and I was like, shit. Can I speak to you? LOL.
Yeah, that's awkward.
No, I did, but it was different.
I haven't seen you since you sent me this screenshot.
Forgot to take it. Wait, I gotta say this.
The funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Here.
So
Stay in the GDP, like some kind of inner model kind of thing. So they're gonna be looking directly at you.
so wild.
I think that's what's
She said this. I'm looking for audience. Oh, I saw this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So cute.
I just think
So,
I don't think.
Did you respond?
no.
What was in my car? Okay. This meeting.
This is a great time.
That was really good.
I feel like it's beautiful.
I found it from a TikTok and I wanted to be necklace and I can't see it. Share no fun.
Honestly, that sounds more Stop it, sorry.
Change.
Oh, I just really about to the other words since I had to be in talk my comes to
No, they're gonna.
Just you know what we should actually do is take these over. Do you like to do the little section when we do this one?
yeah, I'm gonna get you one. I usually don't actually.
So I get everybody runs and I go to tell them.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I ask question that it was
I'm okay. Yeah. Because I can text them.
To the more, remember, I'm anti-otters. We don't disturb.
If that's
Yes.
Wait, so is the gala for the arters and that's the war? Like,
Gala is in support of the honors, but the funds go to the war because you see, the war is a very terrible and important event that has had catastrophic effects on our environment, and it is our duty as American citizens to take those honors and bring them somewhere safe. Yes. The honor gala? That's a really good question. We don't have all the details quite nailed out. I did see that we had part of it in the past, and this one will be practically third because the first one we're really on record. So the theme of this one is preserve and reserve because we're taking all of the funds and putting them for the reserve. Please, oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's going to be a fantastic event. I'm so sorry. I didn't put out enough posters, but you can share. Don't worry. Everyone is invited. It doesn't matter if you know about the honors or not. There is educational opportunities at our gala. We have a program where you can contribute funds and then you can get any honor that you would like out of yourself or a loved one. And we will keep them safe in our backyard at the White House until the word is well, that would be okay too. We don't really discriminate at all about what you want to leave your honor. As long as you contribute to the war, it's totally fine. I'm really hating this here. I don't believe it. Anyway, my days. So, yes. It's okay. It's just a lot of personal family business. So she's giving it out. My earrings are pearls. They were mine. Aren't they beautiful? Yes, actually, I recently learned about it, and then I learned that it's not so good for the environment. So I bought a bunch of trees in order to make up for the effects of mine. Yeah, that's part of the that we can, protect our wildlife, our flora and our biological of the natural world because they love the land and they love the trees and they live with the first time. Our experience as humans is that we need rivers and trees, we need fresh water and sidewalks, and we also need land and water and all those things as well. Also, I really like how they hit on things with rocks when they're slow. I think it's beautiful. And did you know that California waters so over 1 million pair per square inch of their health? That's why they were so hunted in the 1940s. That's a beautiful thing. Well, no, those are the originals, but they're fur. Anyway, thanks so much for coming. Consider coming to that honor gala.
Yeah. Is that there's two? Just the one on like PS2. And then the yeah. Well, I know. There's one. I have. I can't remember seeing one. I just it's my everyone has don't just don't learn the honesty of it. Everyone got yeah, no, because that it's not. I don't read it. Ask for them. Yes, we have to about like because I had students and it was like beautiful place. I was like, okay, yeah. And my husband lived 15 years. It's how they make like party. So I like what's that?
I have this water. Beer bag. You want to give me one? Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that's based on my. Not even working positional. Things like study those things that you get these like Oh, yeah, a while. You know, yes, why? That's why. What's the posture? No one's. No one.
And you went.
Yeah.
No. It's just case.
What?
That about.
That's really yeah, so basically, this lady saying that you can put me on and no, they might not take my show. That's my own friend. And then she's a, and then they, and then now the dad don't use what these guys. You can take it. And she is shitty.
She don't even know where you have to. Yes. Yeah, that is the one, that is one of the things you don't set. It's insane. Is it? Yes. That seems to be one of the ones I also you try.
They might be in down. She couldn't get, maybe it's slightly. I can't. For a dog.
See that?
They know it. Guys, Jake, you guys sit with us?
You know where Sedona is? She said she.
Oh. My dad doesn't know. My dad would do it. That's my, yeah. Don't you love me? I don't mind actually. I can stand. So I just stand up, wait. Stand up, leave my hand. Yeah. Jason. Here's take a list of coffee. Late.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Alyssa, Nolan. Hi. Who did that? Oh, Roger finally wanted to give me time. What's up? Where you need to That's that. That's good. Guys, 5 minutes. I need to see my history. I love it.
You guys ready to vote? Thank
It's so bad. You'll get one, don't worry. I'll make sure you go. Oh, I want to ask him how he feels about fit stuff. Oh, I'll make sure he talks to you. Don't worry. I'll make sure he's up. I'm also speak something. She talked to me.
That sounds fair. Wow.
I have a question. How do you know about women's suffrage?
So I've heard that suffering is bad. So I'm against women suffering.
Next election. You have my vote. I got it.
Absolutely. Questions of people. You love to say. I
I don't know. On mine, it's not. No, I. That, so I can afford it as that.
Yep.
That's right.
Terry. Be a lot of people. This is the individual you can try. I don't understand TIA. Right.
Jay, is that grad done?
Near future.
Oh, serious?
Yep.
Thank you. I asked Rian how he felt about women's suffrage.
Oh, what did he
And he
say?
said that he doesn't think we need full suffrage. Wait, your full suffering means suffering means suffering. And I don't want women to put out my suffering.
He would say that. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm really happy I got that.
Yeah, great question. I love this pre-show thing.
I really think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good.
I only like started looking
thinking it like the week before tech. But if I thought of it sooner and had more time, I would have jumped in.
I think it shows how the people have actually think that.
Yeah. There's so much more. Like the Otter Gala thing, where we created that like way back in 2000. And I was like, it never doesn't say I want to find a way to do something.
How do they know when to go out?
We timed it out.
That's
We
crazy.
timed it all out. First of all, you can see, but second of all, yeah, the entire track should run about 15 to 20 minutes.
This is I'm so impressed. Wait, is it gonna end at like the start of the show? or-
Yeah.
That's really.
It ends with the war coming here, and then there's a crucial speech, and then it goes right.
Do they know how long to like stay after?
Yeah. No, we ran it like 4 times back to back.
It looks so good. I'm so excited. They're very, very impressive. Congrats.
Oh yes. Matt, did she stop?
Wait, where's the? No, they told me that he practically did it. Really? Yeah, listen.
Simon.
I think on the last page. Yeah, I have people with no problem. They actually like it's both teacher and just to have a shirt. Yeah, well, I'm just responsible. Great for the that part's I was like, I to take one thing out. Lord President! Oh, shit. You're right on at the gate. Shit. What's your next move?
Breaking news! The traitorous Polynices and his foreign Argive army have breached the capital.
The president Eteocles and his troops have intercepted the Argive forces and are fighting for our country even now.
In order to avoid detection by the enemy, we ask that you please silence all cellular devices.
Good Cannibals are a student theater troupe, and we can only continue to produce works like Antigone through your generosity. If you feel so motivated to donate to the war effort,
Or the Otter Gala.
please speak to our front of house staff right outside. We can take cash and Venmo.
We'd like to take a moment to remind you that this is a time of war and that people unavoidably commit terrible acts during wartime.
Trigger warnings for this production include violence, death, suicide, and mentions of incest. The Oedipus complex had to come from somewhere.
Antigone is a live theater experience, and as such is intended to be experienced together. Please feel free to laugh, cry, and express yourself however you feel moved.
The show will run for 90 minutes and there will be no intermission.
We now invite you to join us in the Oval Office. Please enjoy Antigone.
my sister of blood and heart. For we who share the blood of Oedipus are destined for the same role of woes as he. For what if pain, affliction, outrage, shame, loss is lacking in our fortunes, yours and mine? And this proclamation of today made by our new president, have you heard what he's to decree? Have you heard? Or are you deaf to the new torment that comes for us?
Antigone, I've heard nothing. No word to me has come, not since the battle. When we were reft of our two brothers in one day by dual fratricide,
And the Argive army fled in the night.
no later news has reached me. Antigone, I've heard nothing more.
That's what I thought. That's why we needed to talk somewhere they wouldn't hear.
What is it? More tragedy. Some dark secret stirs your lips.
You can't guess. We had two brothers. We loved them both. Now we have none. And Creon, newly ascended, would grace but one with burial rites. The other, Antigone, shall be consigned to the earth with full military honors in our tradition, as is his right, gracing him among the heroic dead below. But Polynices, they will deny him that right. They will deny us that right. Creon has decreed that none may bury him, mourn him. We must leave him rotting and unwept, a beast for kites to swoop upon and tear apart. Such is the edict of President Creon, our most noble Creon.
He is our uncle Antigone.
He targets us. They're sisters, you must realize, with his abuse of law and
He
power.
doesn't have the power
He'll
to
sign it here tomorrow, after he's sworn in for his pet senators and officers to proclaim his mandate, his expansion of power. Whoever transgresses shall be stoned to death. So it stands with us. Only we can oppose him. Only we can see Polynices' rights fulfilled.
Wait, Antigone, do you hear yourself? Disobey the first edict of the new Lord President.
Say, will you help me oppose him? Decide now, sister, can I depend on you? Can Polynices?
In what old venture? What are you planning?
Just help me carry the body.
What? Bury him, despite the president's decree.
Deliver our brother his rights. I won't let them say I betrayed a brother for ease or power, not after our family's history. And though you tried to deny me, it's your brother too.
Even though Creon has forbidden it through executive order.
What executive power has he to keep me from my brother? To keep Polynices from our rightful traditions?
Antigone, think for a moment of our father's fate, abhorred, dishonored, self-convinced of sin, blinded, himself his executioner. Think of his mother wife, so horrified she knotted a rope and hanged herself. And think of us, his daughter sisters, the last of the line of Oedipus, our brothers caught in a mutual destiny, self-slaughter, both the slayer and the slain. Sister, remember, we are left to stand alone. And what fate awaits us if in defiance of the law we cross a monarch's will? Moreover, we are two women who are barred from political influence. How can we stop his rise? We are left with nothing but to beg and entreat the dead to pardon. The president commands, and we, powerless, must obey the powers that be. You overstep yourself, sister.
I'm sorry I asked. Even if you were to offer now, I wouldn't welcome your fellowship. So do what you want. I will bury Polynices. And if in the act I find myself put to rest, then I will die in the knowledge that I have acted justly. A sinless sinner condemned by the living for the criminal act of seeing a brother at peace. And by the dead commended, with them I shall abide forever. So do what you want. Live, if you can. With you, my sister would scorn the eternal laws of liberty.
You know I would not. But to defy the state, to oppose her might, you know I have no skill in that.
Then I will go alone to lay our dearest brother on his grave.
I fear for you, Antigone.
You waste your fears on me. Look to
I'll
yourself.
tell no one what we spoke of here tonight.
Sister, proclaim to all.
There's a fire burning in you, yet I go none to hear you speak.
I do not seek your pleasure.
Your drive is admirable, but your doom's to fail.
Tell my failure before I fail. Why?
You know the venture is hopeless. Why begin what you know will end in pain? It is madness, Antigone.
Stop talking before I grow to hate you for such cowardice. And he will grow to despise you more with cause. Call me mad. Maybe I am. I give my madness rein. The worst that can befall me is but to die a defiant death.
Do what you must. It is a mad endeavor. I'll have no part in it, Antigone. I will love you always.
Giving sun gifts us this day, our seven-gated city, the brightest ray. Her eye of golden day.
Spare the light over the Potomac shine, never more glorious dawn than now.
This day of victory and salvation.
Now the army of the foreign Argive upon the night has made its panic-stricken flight. The host with banners white.
Like a traitorous eagle swooping low against our city, the proud invader came to vindicate the spurned Polynices' thought.
With clanging steel and grinding of leather, the would-be revolutionary onward pressed.
Hovering around our city walls he waited, his spearmen raven at our seven gates, swords drawn, lusting for the blood of patriotic men.
But ere a torch could set our capital aflame, they turned broken upon our might.
At the death of their patron and the strategy of Trion.
The din of Ares struck panic upon their ear.
Forces who hates the braggart's boast beheld that gold-bespangled host, as if their victories clutched already there. He struck them with his horse lightning blaze, scorched them, burned them, and left them dying.
That firebrand traitor from his hateful hope was dashed. That son of our nation, whose best hope and fame was to conquer this, his native land.
But our triumphant will he failed to tame, and beneath our spread downward thrust, our foemen pitted dust.
7 captains under 7 gates, for each a champion waits. Each tried their steel and left behind their armor bright.
A trophy for Zeus who turns the fire.
Save 2 alone, that ill-starred pair, 2 brothers met.
Sharing blood and death just as in birth, whose blades found rest one against the other, to leave both perished, brother slain by brother.
Creon, our new lord, approaches.
His graceful ascension now draws near.
Luna powered by death and tragedy.
A new president enters, his oath freshly sworn. The responsibility is his alone.
Eurydice, why this summons? Why gather us one and all, his ally
And his foes.
bidding us with him debate on some great concern of state? Battles of the hearts, love that wins the strangle of the darts. When our hands clutch at our bonded hearts, who will to resist? Our life is ours. There are always other ways out of the night. There's always somewhere a light. It may not be much, but it too beats out the dark.
The gods offer us chances. Know them, take them.
When a blizzard strikes, the traveler proves the fool. She continues her journey rather than seek shelter.
The fool finds herself all the more lost when she is riven from she who
It'll
held
be
her.
your death. There's not a way.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
No one can be dead in life.
The true death is to be forgotten. Only a meaningful end can be death's undoing. Despite your father, I am here. I always will be.
Creon,
descendant of the Spartoi, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of president, which I am about to enter. So help the gods. Senators, countrymen, the gods have righted once again our storm-tossed ship of state, now safe in port. My friends, I am proud to say that we have survived the hurricane and find ourselves now in calmer waters. But, senators, to heal our nation, I have convened this cabinet, my most trusted counselors, my starkest critics. Because I knew you loyal to President Laius of old, to Lord President Oedipus, when he restored our nation's greatness while he governed, and once his administration met its early end. You supported Lord Oedipus's sons after him, and you stayed loyal to Antigone and his brother, corrupted by greed and ambition, assailed our city. And now they're both dead. Dead at each other's hands. A tragedy, no? The time moves onwards, and so must we. By right of kinship, the office of presidency is now mine to hold and defend. My friends, it is difficult to determine the temper of a man, his mind and will, until he's burdened by just exercise of power. I have always believed that the leader who would hesitate in the execution of his policy for fear of discontent or failure, or is afraid to act openly, is the basest of the base. And I condemn beyond words the man who puts his friends before his country. Read my lips before the gods. If I perceive some corrupt design to weaken the state, I will not hold my tongue. Nor will I hold private friendships with those that are enemies of our state. That is my policy. A policy of service to rediscover the fall of our nation. And take the new country back. Restore its rightful greatness. To act as president, I have penned an executive order concerning the sons of Oedipus. Eteocles, our foremost champion, shall be duly buried with all ceremonies and observances due a hero. The dog who led a foreign army to destroy his country, a murderer of his own people. For Polynices, I declare that he shall have no mourners, no honors. Leave his corpse unburied, to be meat. Let it be known from this day forward that traitors and would-be tyrants have no rights. They shall find no mercy under my administration. That is my word.
Let's carry on with your signature and seal. You have passed executive judgment upon the sons of Oedipus.
Both the brother who attacked and the brother who defended our state. Your word is law. It binds us all, the living as the dead.
I trust you'll carry out my policies exactly.
Surely, we do not intend for men of our station to indulge such a base task.
Calm down. I've posted guards to watch the body.
What more would you expect of us?
Not to collaborate with dissidents.
We are not mad, sir. We know the law and the consequences of breaking the harshest of death.
Perhaps. But greed and idealism lure more than their share to ruin. as we've all seen of late.
Mr. President!
Yes.
Say I came straight here. Truthfully, I took the longest route here. And I'm swearing to print again. Even more truthfully, I consider not putting at all. Why hurry headlong to your own doom? Then again, I thought the president better not hear from another. You know what's good for you. Well, I had no choice but to literally hate from you. You know, it's funny how long these halls can be when you really try. In the end, my duty won out. I will speak, though I say nothing, as I plucked courage from despair. I thought, it's already happened. No escaping your fate now.
Get a man. What's already happened?
Well, sir, let me say first, I didn't do it, didn't see it happen. Any punishment could not land on my shoulders.
Take great care to distance yourself from your speech.
Must be sad news.
It is, Mr. President.
Out with it.
Out with it then. The corpse is buried.
Oh.
Sprinkled dust, that's all. But it's enough. They did all the proper holy stuff.
Stay. Who has dared disobey me?
I couldn't tell you. Whoever it was covered their tracks well. Couldn't find a single scratch and footprint, no sign that human hands had been at work. The sentries were all shocked. There's no real gravestone, just dust. But it's enough to avert the curse that haunts the unburied dead. It was almost like some stranger passing by, struck with religious turn of heart. Anyways, that's when we all started playing finger. We challenged each other's honor, each of us swearing to the house.
Bring it
touch.
away.
Too strong for this office. Quickly, one man spoke and shut the rest of us up, because he was right about one thing, no escaping it.
What did he
Sit him, Creon. Hiding this, one of you has to report it. So, that's when we drew straws. I drew the short stick. So, here I am. I don't want to be here. You don't want me here. Never bad news is all. No commendations for that.
I had misgivings about this from the first.
Hey, just leave it, yeah?
Instincts told me to let the issue rest. Allow the boy his rights, or else ignore warning from the gods.
Shut up already. And maybe you lost that instinct when you finally hit puberty. Lord, a warning from the gods. What gods would have a thought for this dead man? Did they award him some special grace I'm not aware of? He that would burn their hallowed sanctuaries, sack their shrines, desolate their land. Allow the boy his rights. You gods give rights to traitors these days. Let me make this easy for you. You're wrong. It was the hands of men that did this, not gods. Men who opposed my ascension to this office. Men who opposed my previous appointments. Your friends who have fought every move of my career. Men who could easily bribe a century in my service.
Sir, I swear there was no
They
such.
paid for this demonstration against my authority. Money, gentlemen, money, that same corrupting virus is at play. But those who have sold themselves to find their greed a trap. Now you listen closely, yeah? If you don't drag who did this before me in this very office, I will make you beg for death. Such special techniques will be employed until you confess the crimes that must be yours.
Sir, if I may.
Consider your next words very carefully.
Do you find me annoying, sir? So, your mind.
How amusing.
If it's your ears, well, that's on me. You should blame this criminal.
You speak nonsense. You're dismissed.
Such perhaps, but innocent of the crime. That body, maybe not.
But perhaps you sold your eyes. Huh? Sentry, did you look the other way?
Sir, it said that such a skilled reasoner should miss the point so
What would you know of reason? Bring me this criminal, for the wages of his ill-gotten gains shall be your treasure. Wait.
behind this criminal? Either way, you lot will never see me here again. Speaking plainly, I thought I wouldn't be leaving here alive. Don't test a stroke of luck, that's what I always say. Your second time, swore to all the gods.
Countless wonders in the world, but none as wondrous as man.
With such arrogant ease, he would ride the churning sea. Through the foam of the firth, man makes his perilous way.
The quick-witted birds of the air, the beasts of the field and the wood, he traps with his woven snare. Master of cunning is man. The savage bull and the stag which roams the mountain free are tamed by his infinite art. And the horse which once roamed free is broken to bear his burdens.
But he who achieves is not alone. We have mastered the intricacies of the voice. We have studied and made plain the realms of politics, cataloged the nature of people and state, the very practical art of government.
Which our nation has refined.
We have constructed great cities to shield us from ice and storms.
We have made map and form of even the incomprehensible human mind.
Man's potential is limitless in cunning and skill.
These gifts are both enemies and friends, and he may apply them to good or to evil as he chooses.
If in leadership he honors the laws of the land,
And defends the rights of his people.
proudly his city shall stand.
But if bold in his pride he strays from the path of right, indulging in power for the ends of himself, then may I sit by his side to share the thoughts of his heart.
Oh shit.
And I, filled me with wild surprise, sure I know her. Sure it is she, I see before me Antigone.
Hapless child of hapless sire.
And you, have you openly disobeyed your uncle, Lord President?
Use herself!
This is the one. She did it. She did the deed. And wrong. We saw her. It was her. She took the blame. When the president.
The president, he returns it.
Use, my friend.
What can you tell, Mr. President? Here's my advice. Never make a vow. Spend the moment, swear a thing, you'll probably contradict yourself a second later. Because after I've led your wife, who regrets, myself and the others swept away, starting to wipe away the funeral dust and buried the clammy body. Oh, starting to decay. And I swore up and down I wouldn't be here again. But what do you know? I'm back. Snipped. This time, surprise is mine. So, take her, judge her, rock her. If you're so inclined, she's yours from you, Mr. President. Take her. And leave me clean out of it.
How did this happen? Where did you find her?
Or in the man, there's nothing more to tell.
Are you insane? Do you understand the implications of these accusations?
I saw her burying the corpse against her executive orders. Is that not clear and plain?
But how did this happen? How did he catch you?
Speak.
Well, sir, not you. He set to work away, wiping the funeral dust and burying the quiet body with the punk, starting to decay. Then he sat high on a ridge to avoid the stench and set a trap for your criminal waiting for him to return. Or, well, we assumed it was a he. Sorry. So long so we watched. We watched until this fine morning. There she was. Person, whoever undid her brother's burial. But of course, it was us who had done the undoing. We watched her gather handfuls of dry dust, holding high a well-wrought brazen urn. Then we watched her commit rightful practices all over again. Her trap and took her into custody. We charged her with both her crimes, read her rights, and she confessed.
Is this true?
Yes, I was glad. Grieved. It is most sweet to escape scot-free. Less so when it comes at the expense of those who have done you no wrong. And then, man's first duty is to serve himself.
And you, look at me. Did you do this?
I don't pretend otherwise.
You're dismissed. You are a lucky man. You escaped your noose twice today.
Return to your unit. No.
Peace. Give me a simple yes or no answer. Had you heard of my decree?
Yes,
And yet you still dare disobey my law.
in a heartbeat. Your law that with a pen stroke flies in the face of she who sits enthroned with the gods below. Justice not enacted these human laws, and nor do I think that you, a mortal man, can with pen and paper override the inalienable and unwritten laws of liberty and common human decency.
They weren't written yesterday. They are for all time.
You ask us to disobey these laws and so provoke the wrath of heaven. What choice do you leave? How could I leave my mother's son, your nephew, unburied there, ungrieved there, denied of his rights and dead? I could not. And though your cold heart judges me a fool, who judges folly better than a fool?
A stubborn daughter of a stubborn father! And like your father, you'll find no compromise.
Perhaps. Anyone can be broken. And often the most stubborn are broken first. And those below obey those above. Even the wildest horses can be broken by saddle and halter. But my poor niece, trained in insolence, not only has she broken the law, a second and worse act of insolence, she basks in her nastiness. I'll not allow her to go unpunished, playing at president while I look like the woman. While I look like the dog. Don't think that being my sister's daughter will save you. And your sister, was she involved?
Arch conspirators of equal guilt.
No.
The other one is Mayne. Bring her here. She's in the residence, crying. This explains it.
Oh, man. Workings of face and eye reveal dark deeds, and darkness schemed. More hateful still the villain who seeks one to make a virtue of a crime.
What more do you want from me than my death?
Death is enough.
Why delay then? I find no joy in your words. God forgive me if I ever do. And you have proven yourself inflexible of mind. What higher honor is there than to be condemned for defending the rights of those who can't defend themselves? I know you all feel the same in your hearts. There is no gag like terror, is there? Senators, secretaries, the arbiters they once was democracy. But power is hypnotic, and the tyrant must have his way.
You are small, and you are alone.
You all think as I do, but stay silent before him. Afraid to draw his ire?
You should feel ashamed for standing against the will of the people.
I love my brother, honored my brother. Show me the shame.
And your other brother, who Polynices brutally murdered.
That's the crime of loving both sons born to my mother.
You disgrace Antigone by honoring Polynices.
My brothers would not say.
Antigone would. His brother was a traitor.
Even so, he was a man.
A traitor. A criminal who brought down a patriot.
Even so, he had his rights, and we must defend them.
So we treat the hero and the villain the same. What of our values? Honor, patriotism, civic duty.
Who knows if this world's crimes are death's virtues?
Not even death can make a foe a friend.
My heart holds love enough for both and hate for neither.
If you love the dead so much, you'll join them soon enough. I will not be bested with our woman.
Does she weep for her sister or for herself?
You, the snake I couldn't see, twin plagues I welcomed into my home, even as they plotted to destroy me. You help her betray me, or you claim pitiful ignorance.
Of course it. We share the guilt. We should share the punishment. We did nothing. She shared in nothing. Liar, you refused me when I asked. I resolved to do it alone. Antigone, let me help you.
The underworld knows well who did the deed. The friend in word is no friend of mine.
Please, sister, don't despise me. Though I failed you then, let me save you now. Or if I cannot, allow me to share in your end.
Lay no hands upon the work you have no claim. One death suffices. Why should you die for my crime?
You would make me the last of our families. Sentence me to a life alone.
Ask Creon. He is your kinsman, your president, your best friend.
Why do you mock my pain? Do I deserve your contempt?
It's a sad mockery if indeed I mock.
Antigone, for once in your life, allow me to help you.
I hold no grudge. Escape with your life intact.
You deny me this, then even to die with my sister.
You chose life, and I to resist.
I tried to warn you. I knew this would happen.
Many a well-minded person may be met with our dilemma and choose your path, but some, the brave of heart, would choose mine.
I share the blame. I failed to stop you, and I stand condemned for it.
You will live. Live for me. My soul was slain long ago to serve the dead.
Hey, we are watching you lose it in real time. You're already crazy.
You were paying attention. Monstrous times bring tragedy.
Your mistake was allowing yourself to be influenced by her madness.
What's left for me without my sister? Imagine it were Haman.
She is as good as dead.
You execute the girl your daughter plans
There
to.
are other fields to plow. No lack of choices.
No other than her.
Any would be better than a criminal.
Haman, if you could hear how your father speaks of you.
Oh, she'll get over it.
Mr. Baldwin, they are engaged with your blessing before you rob your daughter for wedding day.
Death parts all lovers sooner or later.
So our death warrant is sealed?
Signed by all of us. You all heard the order and consented. If only with your silence. You take them away and watch them closely.
No.
Get up.
No,
Oh,
no,
get up.
please. Yeah. Christ blessed are they that never tasted pain. What pity that poor man that so angered the gods, their infection lingers from generation to generation. Age after age, each the cup must drain its own bitter poison.
On every descendant of this ancient line I see cast woe upon woe. From unremembered days of old, some god laid on the family and its children scourges for ages with sorrows never ending.
Agony, destruction, disgrace, the cherished inheritance of the line of Laticus. Another generation rises, another is banished at the hands of the bloody axe of fate.
'Twas by Oedipus for reckless pride undone.
Well did that wise man speak of past, present, and future to be. That he who climbs in power or wickedness over the backs of his fellows, higher than the fates would allow, is punished, cast down to earth or below. And yet, hope flits about on never wearing wings.
To some lights love she brings, to some the taste of ash. But none can say how her gifts may turn till 'neath his feet one solid ground is reduced to his life's last condition.
Another wise one did say, if acts of evil you do boast in the name of good, to you near is fate, and brief the respite from her flaming sword.
But how are you to judge between the evil and the good?
Haman approaches.
Haman, last of Creon's children, its pride and its shame.
Haman, hero of the battle against Argos.
Haman, soldier, intelligence officer.
Poet.
Is it for her bride she's grieved?
Or her marriage bent to see? Does she make her case for mercy true to the maid forlorn Antigone?
I expect you've heard Antigone's sentence. My verdict for you would have been bride. You come in spirit of rage against your father. I hope not. Remember, we are always united. Remember my love for you. How proud I am of you.
I'm your heir. Your wisdom has always steered us well. I trust you. And your judgment, my engagement didn't change that.
Well said, Haman. Children should defer to their fathers on such matters, no. They should be eager to strike their father's enemies. But some offer no such profit, bringing trouble to that poor father. He becomes a laughing stock to his enemies. Haman, they won't laugh at me, at us. I have always said, let no woman fool you, for the pleasure found in a whore goes cold sooner than it's time. She's a plague, a contagion. Let her go. Let her find that dead husband brother of hers. Her affection for that traitor is far too much like her father's love for your aunt for my taste. This damned family. Think of it. If we allow corruption to fester in our home, how will we stop its spread? We cannot allow the law to be perverted. Our word. The head of state must be obeyed in everything, great and small, just and unjust alike. Otherwise, chaos, anarchy. And what causes more pain and death than anarchy? A legion in battle that fails to obey its commander will surely meet a bloody end. But discipline preserves the ordered ranks. We must maintain authority. It's how we save lives.
Father, the strength of humanity is reason, bestowed on us by chance evolution. Of course, it's not for me to say you're wrong. I lack your decades of experience, political and otherwise. And yet it's also fair to say that others of good standing may think differently than you or I. And as your heir and an officer of the Federal Intelligence Service, surely it is one of my duties to keep you informed of what people think and say in secret, even when they leave unsaid. Many of your advisors fear your anger and wouldn't dare say a word to displease you, yet from time to time I hear what they whisper behind closed doors. Everywhere I hear sympathy expressed for this poor girl, sentenced to an early death unjustly. They call her hero, think her innocent. She protected the rights of the beloved dead from a state in danger of falling into tyranny. She should be given a medal for it, or so they say. Please, in the name of the gods, think twice about this. Through the town there is grief. Call her wonderful. Father, your reputation matters to me. For without it, our rule, your rule, will crumble. It is my job to seek out internal threats to your administration and what could please the Lord President more, and to hear his daughter's concern that people will think well of him. All I ask is that you not be so certain that your opinion is the only right one and that all men share it. The man who thinks he has the monopoly of wisdom, that he alone is master of the truth, reveals his weakness with every word. The man of wisdom knows a strength to value other opinions, to learn from them and use them to strengthen his own decisions when a river of blood betrays that bend survive. Those that don't are torn from the ground by the impossible churning of the water. And when a sailor in a storm refuses to reef his sail and run with the wind, he's likely to meet a very wet grave. Just so, the man who seeks to govern must consider the voices of the people from time to time, else his reign will be short. Please, reconsider your sentence by goodwill with the people. I know I'm young, and if I may claim any small amount of sense, I'd say this. Absolute certainty is fine, but one can be certain their wisdom is absolute. The next best thing is to listen, learn, and take good advice when it is offered.
You would have me, at my age and station, take political tactics from a child, fresh from the academy.
But I have found in the line of duty nothing more. Waiting upon that merit and not
Is
my
this what they
peers.
teach at the intelligence service? To sanction
If
lawlessness?
she were a threat to your administration, I wouldn't
Did
defend her.
she, or did she not break the
The
law?
people say she hasn't.
And what should the mob dictate my policy? Even in the old
In
days.
the old days, you'd be voted out.
Is that a
Today,
threat?
when the state becomes one man, it ceases to be a state.
The state is who rules it. It reflects his judgment alone. It belongs to me.
Supreme.
You take a woman's side.
Speak for you.
Wrong. Every word you say against me weakens my
And
position.
I know you're wrong. I have no
And am I
choice.
wrong if I maintain my rights? Maintain the authority of the state. My position. Our position.
Your rights? Really, Father?
She's got her claws in you. You are weaker than I thought.
I'm not ashamed to speak for justice.
You don't speak for justice. You speak for that woman.
And for you! And for me! And for the people! And for Polynices' rights!
You will never marry her. I never should have blessed your relationship.
Never just be happy for me! You won't even care about how my preferences threatened your career!
Well, you won't get the chance to now. She'll die before you do.
I promise you, she won't die alone.
Another threat. Oh, your impertinence astounds
It's
me.
not a threat. It's truth. This short-sighted policy will bring more bloodshed. I cannot say whose, but it's a
You are short-sighted to think you can lecture me.
You were my father. I say you lost your mind. Your obsession with this word, this magnitude.
You can't even do it. Oh, girl, you think you can question me, insult me with impunity just because you're my progeny?
No. Ooh.
But you're here today. I will be contradicted, humiliated, unmoved. Heirs can be punished too. Bring her here. So the bitch can die.
Here and watch this disgusting circus in the company of a madman. You're welcome to it.
Marianne!
Gulf in a hurricane of pain. The passions of youth are impossible to tame.
Let her go. She'll get over it. We have twin executions to attend.
You'll punish both, sir.
You're right. See, I can listen to others. I can take advice. Only Antigone will die.
And the method of execution? Hanging? Injection?
We'll take her outside city walls. Somewhere far and out of the way, where we can find her a cave to leave her in.
Oh.
Buried alive. Where only death can save her. The only authority she seems to respect. And maybe then she'll learn her lesson. The rights of dead traitors are no business of the living.
Love is undefeated in battles of the heart. Love that was strangle of any policy. When your hands clutched at mortal heart, who can hope to resist?
But is it for Creon to make policy with this in mind? A weak ruler is he who would make law with his offspring's romantic dreams in mind.
To blame the president is a fool's excuse when Aphrodite and Eros are at fault.
Between the daughter and the father, this house is divided.
We're doing stop it all.
State requires a stable hand to guide and to shape.
And Grant provided this current state. But how can we talk of justice and need of state while we stand watch a girl march to her unendurable fate? Antigone, so young, so fair, guilty of naught but love, death starred with the devil dare.
Good evening, senators. I take your hands, but
My last farewell I make. My journey's done. For death who puts to sleep both young and old calls my name and beckons for me to join him at his side. Take consolation that even in death you find glory, and every voice whispers your name. Count yourself lucky. The sword's edge you will not taste, nor will disease corrupt your form to waste. Unmarked and untouched you'll go, living to the dead below. Such a joy to die slowly alone in the dark. Tell me, Mr. Secretary, do you recall the story of Naomi? Like me, she faced the living dead. Like me, she did so unwed. Chained to the rock of Sipylus, drenched by the pelting rain and whirling snow, I'm sure she found much glory there. Imprisoned in the mountain's embrace, slowly turned inch by painful inch to stone, her punishment for what? Pride, they would call it. But no, her only crime was to love her children. Luckily for your president, he should escape her fate. With no such crime. But today, I share her rock.
Niobe was born of the gods.
How great a thing to share divine fate.
To live on in legend and in stone.
You think you're clever? Is my death funny to you? You are senators, secretaries, powerful men. Each of you swore an oath before the gods to defend the people. Mark the cruel odds you stand to defend in their stead. Was ever a fate like mine? Oh, monstrous doom. In a rock-built prison left, blood unshed, to fade and wither in a living tomb. No crime committed save speaking for the dead, doomed to languish in the space between space.
You've gone too far.
You're too extreme. Guilty of far more than speech, so that be enough. You've acted too hastily, and now you whine of the consequence.
You should have found compromise.
You shared your father's guilt. You pay for him too.
Is that what this is? Continued punishment for my ill-starred father's piteous disgrace. Did we not suffer enough? The taint of blood, the hereditary stain that clings to all of my name. Consequence of the chance-by-chance marriage bed where lay a mother with the son her womb had born. Therein I was conceived, fruit of incestuous sheets. Does it make you feel good and pure to ceaselessly parade the tragedies of fate?
Men cannot help but to hate. Crimes the gods themselves abhor.
You appoint yourself judge in the god's stead, sending me to meet them down below. Perhaps it's a blessing I should never wed. 'Twas marriage that doomed my father and his mother wife. And Polynices' marriage to the princess of Argos that brought him low. Perhaps at least Haman won't be caught in my wake. A final victory to stem my woe.
The law of gods and men is clear. The dead have the rights. In this she speaks true. Let right be paid when rights are due.
But no state can allow such direct contradiction. You knowingly withstood authority. You confessed.
Rebels come. And like your brother, you not
Sir, unwept, unwed, alone. My only friend in the world kept from my side. No longer may I see the day's bright eye. No grief where none is felt. Leave me to my house of stone.
Whining and crying could prevent death. You'd live as long as the god.
My comedian uncle does me worthy of his company.
Good news. It's time. Your bridal suite awaits. All her talk of liberty. I give her the liberty to die. Or live in solitude. We in either case are guiltless.
You have sent me to my grave, my bridal dead. Hewn from the rock, my everlasting home. And my family waits. I shall be glad to see them again. Mother, father, Antigone, Polynices. You will be all the more miserable for seeing me so soon. Will they know I died for them? For my love of them? Polynices most of all, for you all would deny his personhood. I alone treated him with respect and dignity, and this is my reward. Still, I would do it again, reward be damned. For even had it been some stranger of another blood targeted by the state, I would still defy your will.
And by what law would you act so?
By the law of conscience. So easily forgotten. How could I endow my brother with any right or privilege or freedom of personhood that I would not grant another? Were not these rights once at the heart of our state? Yet today I am judged by Creon, guilty of a heinous crime, for living and breathing by those noble values, long abandoned by you, whose trade is power. Now he drags me like a criminal, by friends deserted to a living grave, and for what? What person is harmed by peaceful defiance?
You harmed the state, thus harming us all.
Well, if such justice is approved of heaven, then I should be taught by suffering my sin. But if the sin is yours, oh, may you suffer no worse ills than the wrongs you do to me.
The same ungovernable will courses through her veins still.
All right. Get her out of here. Let's go. Get a move on.
Stillness and silence is all that awaits.
There is no other truth. What keeps that portends no other thing than death.
It is the country of my mothers. Look, you power-hungry fools! I am the last of my family, a house of dictators, brought down by our age-old sins, undone by a lust of power. I took but one step to make things right. Generations of pain left unheaded. And for that, I died his distance. Oh, shit.
Her sentence is not unprecedented.
Today, Argos, in her brass bound tower, was forced to exchange her freedom for a cell.
her bridal bower, both prison and tomb.
The fates always claim what they're owed.
Neither wealth nor arms withstand them, nor brass-proud ships which breast the sea from their grasp may flee. Astrias' child, the rash Adonian king, for words of high disdain, Dionysus did to a rocky dungeon bring, to cool the madness of a fevered brain.
His frenzy passed. He learnt at last was unwise to insult the graces of a god.
Surely you do not imply Antigone's sentence is for her good intended.
Surely you would not be so bold to compare the president's word to the graces of a god.
By the iron rocks that guard the double gates in the wild Thracian land, there the jealous stepmother did blind the sons of Phineus. The gore that trickled from her spindle red, the sightless orbits of her stepsons twain. On their wedding day, the boy's fate was sealed. Withering away, they mourned their piteous mistress.
Daughter of Boreas, child of the wind! She presumes herself shielded from any kind of punishment. At least she can outrun fate.
A child of the gods.
Yet for her arrogance, the fates came down harder still.
But we are not fate.
That, sir?
President.
Seer has arrived.
Good. Bring him in.
Mr. President, you call.
Tiresias, my old friend. Thank you for coming. How long has it been?
Since the old days have I been summoned to whisper my insights in a president's ear.
Far too long then.
No need for an old pollster since Evans, right?
To ignore your foresight and mastery of numbers would be to surrender a singular advantage.
You speak kindly, Mr. President.
Yes. Well, I was hoping that we
Perhaps too kindly. Once you've heard my conclusions. Still, once heard, you must heed the seer.
I thought you hated that moniker. I've always listened to you. I've taken your advice more than once.
Your career blossomed.
Oh, I know. I remember my debts.
You're standing on a knife's edge. One step away from disaster or salvation.
Your lips cannot speak so. Your lips, which have foretold the ends of far too many powerful men.
Listen then. Listen and learn. Divination of my art shall tell. At my small home I sat, in my usual seat as was my own. Where my little birds whisper numbers and words in my ear. The strange jargon of twitterings, decimals, and sheets and screams, and from this chaos, a pattern emerged. One that could signify naught else. Ever cautious, I commissioned my people to confirm, again presented with a strange riddle of numbers and algorithms. Was here, deep within the trailing tales of logarithmic regressions and data, each point a person, thought. The fire of a human moment captured forever in cold statistics. Such are the signs of my art. That same art that measures the stars and the settling of the stellar dusts, trained on the equally great vastness of the human mind. As I guide others, it is this unknowable equation that gives me sight to secrets even the wisest of men cannot see. Creon, my dear, dear friend, your willful temper ails the state. For our people grow angry, they whisper tyrant. And all my skilled manipulations of the data point to but one cause. What filled the maw of dogs and crows? The fleck of Oedipus's unburied son. An overstep of might that angers both citizen and God alike. Therefore no bird will trill a happy note, their beaks clogged and stinking, gorged on a carnival of human flesh. Dogs will howl not but horrors, their maws dripping with the blood of Polynices. But, excuse my dramatics, and ponder this. Mistakes are common to all men, but both citizen and God alike find great joy and forgiveness in the man who strives to set his right. We'll show the people that it's never too late to become wise. There's no fool as foolish as the obstinate fool. The boy is dead, his threat to the state gone. What glory do you gain by defeating a dead child, by slaying twice the slain?
So at long last I've entered your crosshairs. How long have you been praying for my misstep?
For many years I have been a friend to your family, to you.
And am I to become the object of ridicule for all those beneath me? Your mark and target. Who's bought you, old man?
My counsel is honest. Take it. Become the president. I know you.
No, I will not. Go and make your profit where you will. I may be your latest bargain, but I'll not be bought. This traitor's burial is not for sale. Even if the eagles of Zeus himself were to carry me by their talons through his throne, not even before his might would I sell. For I know the fate of my rule will not be determined by stripping a man of his burial rights. This too I know. No one falls from grace like a respected man of craft and cunning when he tries to gloss treachery with fair words for filthy gain. You may wrap yourself in the voice of the people, but gold is your only master.
Are there any normal people left in government?
I see through the platitudes of your fake populism.
My only agenda is good advice. Wisdom is worth more than any fortune.
True, as unwisdom is worse than worthless.
Only you could see
God,
this.
if only you could see.
That's why I see more than you ever will. I see your anger. I see how it has always ruled you. And if you want to be a ruler of men, more than that, I see your words. I see how they harm those closest to you, driving them to desperation. Compared to what I see, it is you who is blind. Yet you call myself and my art frauds.
You bolsters are all the money getting tried.
Believe me, no one gets into academia for the money. Politicians, on the other hand.
You are talking to your president, your lord.
Lord of the state, thanks to me. You listen when you like what I have to say.
I put myself here, not you, not anyone else. I never trusted you.
Why would I help put you here just to remove you?
Because my integrity is not for sale. There will be no favors for my friend.
Listen closely, Creon. They call me the seer, for in all my years, there's not one prediction I've gotten wrong. In the old days, none could compare to my perfect record. Yet I do not need the gift of foresight to see this simple truth. If you continue down this road, you will be made to pay its toll. A corpse for a corpse. The last child of your own blood. See this not through numbers and polls, nor through some gift of the gods, but rather by listening to the whispers in your own halls. You have refused to bury your nephew, as is his right. Instead, you bury your niece while she still breathes. You are a powerful man, but you have no right to this.
One boy and one girl are not
Are
enough.
but the latest in a long line of powers usurped by the state. One overreach too many for a people who've swallowed far too many injustices. What they have suffered, you will suffer too. For the avenging spirits of heaven and hell hunt you, and one way or another they will claim you. Do you really think I've been bought? In my line of work, you learn that people are little more than another math equation. Experiences plus circumstance equals decision. Once you learn this, we become shockingly easy to predict. There's only so many paths you can take. So I know the sound of lamentation will be heard through your desolate halls. And the people there will, too long ignored, will rise up. Quietly at first, but soon your rivals at home and abroad will take advantage, joining together to avenge the wrongs of generations. You were not my target. Not until now. You're short-sighted, Freon. Blind. And in your grave, you harm your closest friends and family. Which reminds me, where is your daughter? And so hopes to see her.
Get out.
So, like an expert marksman, each of my shots has landed true. You can feel them
Get out!
here.
President, the seer has left in a tempest.
Great warnings. In all my time, never have I known a day the seer's warnings were proven false.
I know that as well as you.
How many times has his advice saved the careers of all in this room? How many more have his equations steered the state to safety?
Yielding this late would be grievous. How can I stand like a fool and wait for my due?
Finally, you will listen.
What should I do? Advise me, I will heed.
Go. Free Antigone from her rocky cell. Instead, bury Polynices. Restore his rights.
Is that your counsel? Surrender!
Yes, Mr. President, this instant.
My principle! Every action, my heart's resolve! Fates are a poor opponent.
You must do it yourself.
I should have listened sooner.
Has but one last choice. The method of my departure. Of Creon's painting. Or my own. Let a man decide my fate.
Period.
I think not.
But then, in despair. Come away from there. My daughter. Come out with me.
Oh.
Did this.
She was dead when we arrived,
She was not alone.
both dead. And they who live deserve to die.
The slayer, who the victim? Haman is dead.
No. Haman is dead. By her father's hand or her own? Her father. No. Her own. In anger for her father's crime. And so what Tiresias spoke has come to pass. We should have known. We should have stopped this.
We did not dare. That shame is ours to bear.
Now,
What of Creon? What of the state?
Should he be allowed to?
Quiet. First Lady approaches. Won't you look me in mine eye, you men of state? Think you subtle? Was this going out? Oh, I've heard. What new tragedy did you keep from me? Speak. Your sorrow is no stranger to me. You're in the sea. Speak.
Perfect truth. Omitting not one word. While in attendance on the Lord President, striving to free your dear niece, we approached the caverned rock, the bridal chamber of the maiden death, and heard from that godless shrine a wail. A hollow sound of lamentation to the king was born. He knew the voice, for it was your daughter. And so he ran ahead, ice in his heart, fire in his leg. And then cries of another kind reached our ears. When we arrived, we saw Antigone dead. Poison she concealed in her dress, and Haman slain by her own sword here. But yet breathing, she clasped in her arms Antigone. Her pallid cheeks she kissed with her expiring gasps. So there they lay. A corpse on a corpse made one in death.
He was gone. In silence. We each grieve in our own way. It is likely she withdraws to lend her daughter's stab ending in privacy to mourn a private law. Public show of grief would be unbecoming.
Perhaps. It is a heavy silence when you can feel in your bones.
Ominous.
I will forward to put your worries to rest. No one should be alone on a day such as this. You're right. It's too heavy a silence.
Woe. Unimaginable woe. I have made many mistakes. None so deadly. See here, the killer and his victim. See here, the father and his child. I am to blame. Not her, not Antigone. Only me. My last child. My only daughter. Smothered in the morning of your life. The fault is mine. Mine alone. My arrogance has doomed you.
And he spoke to warn us. You did not heed our cries.
Sorrow is my only teacher, it seems. Would that the hands of fate used a softer touch. Inevitably, they humbled my pride, and my greatest achievement turns to ash.
Behold, the great president, Creon, brought to your knees. At last you share the sorrows that were mine, and like mine, more sorrow awaits you still.
What woe is lacking from my tale of woes?
Your wife, my beloved aunt, lies stricken by a fresh inflicted blow. The breath of life is gone from her.
Who will you take me to, O death? Kill a man already killed. This is my own crime. Is death at work again?
See for yourself.
What more remains to crown my agony? And yet another victim death hath won. Unhappy mother, the most unhappy daughter. Is this how it ends?
She spoke of her first son, Megarius, who died like his brother too soon, then cried for her younger son killed in battle during the fall. Then she mourned for her daughter, and with her last breath she cursed you, the slayer of her children, my cousins, my sister.
Take this sword, the sharp knife to end my life. How can I go on? Everywhere I look, I see their blood.
Her last words were to blame you for all the deaths on this day. I find myself unable to disagree.
Did she do it?
Would it heal your heart to hear the bloody truth of my dear aunt's end?
No, I suppose not. I did the deed. Guilty I plead. Take me away. You arrest me. I am nothing now. I have become nothing. Nothing can happen to a man that is nothing. Come, Fates. Find your friend in need. Let me not look upon another day.
That's not for us to decide tomorrow.
We are masters of today. Nothing more, nothing less.
First rule to a happy life. Wisdom.
The second, do not work with hatred against your fellows, be they kin of blood or word. Many a powerful man who spoke powerful words have paid powerfully for that crime.
But in the end, through pain, tragedy,
Learn wisdom too.
even you, we are the last of our blood. We are all that remains alone in the world. We who once filled our halls with the happiest laughter. If all we have control of is today, I choose no more. No longer shall our family draw its own blood. No longer shall the strongest loves become the bitterest of hates. It has become our task to live and to remember and to change everything. For Haman, for Eteocles, and for Polynices, and for my sister, for Antigone.
What now? What of our state?
Change, Senator. And not a moment too soon.
Yes.
How so?
That was so good. I it's hard night when it's really.
Like show me the skill. I mean, actually, they're priceless, and I don't like they just are fun. I just love my